Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be testing out the new IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Foundation. Usually they have like their CC creams, which I am a huge fan of. I thought why not try their new foundation, especially since it claims to be pretty full coverage. So that's what we're going to be testing out today. So without further ado, if you're interested in seeing if the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Foundation can cover up my acne, then just keep on watching. Orangey vibe today. So the Confidence in a Foundation, the claims that it says here on the box is a skin loving and hydrating formula infused with ceramides, peptides, hydrolyzed collagen, hyaluronic acid, and squalane. Not sure what that is, but okay. It's long wearing, weightless, and full coverage, and have a velvet matte finish. I am in the shade 140 Light Honey, frosted glass, pretty white top. Comes with a pump, so I'm all for that. I love foundations with a pump. It just makes life so much easier. Let's start off with a brush and see what happens. It seems pretty thick, so it's not like running or super liquidy or anything like that. Foundation retails for $32, which I don't think is, I think that's pretty good, especially for a high-end foundation. I know other ones I have tried are like upwards, like in the $40, sometimes $60 range. I have heard that this foundation oxidizes, so let's see. It's looking pretty white. So far in the coverage department, it's not as full as I would like it to be. Still see things peeking through a little more. Usually I use a full pump for my face. Okay, so it doesn't look bad. It did build up a little more. It's still peeking through a little bit, but I just don't know if that's because it's not really my foundation shade and that's why this is happening. I would say that the sponge actually gave me the same amount of coverage as adding the two did with the brush side. It looks pretty much the same. So I don't know if I just also, I think I added a little bit more on the sponge side of my face as opposed to when I did the brush the first time. It does really have that velvet matte finish, so it's still like a little shiny as you can see, but it's also not dewy, but it's also not flat matte, so I like the finish of it. Let's see if it oxidizes, because so far it's still it's a little light for me. So that could also be why it's not covering as well as I would hope. Usually if a foundation's a little too light for me, my acne just peeks through more. I think that just goes without saying. It is clinging on to my dry patches, so that's a bummer. I'll say though, even though it is clinging onto my dry patches and my face doesn't look overall dry and cakey, yeah, I don't know how I feel. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my makeup. I'm gonna add a smidge more, a smidge, just because to make it even with the brush side, and we'll see. Okay, that did actually cover me a little bit more. It's still peeking through, so now these sides are pretty sure a little more even. I will say I think I like the sponge side a smidge more. It just looks a little more perfected and just not as dry and like clung on. And am I crazy, or is this starting to kind of match me, or is it the shadowing? Maybe my lighting, not sure. So far it feels good. It feels actually really lightweight. I'm not mad at it so far, but I'm also not overly impressed or in love with it. So I'm gonna finish off the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I am back. All my makeup is done and this is how the foundation is looking. I like it so far. Like I said, the coverage wasn't what I expected at first. It wasn't as full coverage as I usually would like, but I was able to even out and it actually looks like it matches pretty good now. Before I put my bronzers and everything on, it looked a little, like it looked light, but it also looked not gray. I don't know if gray is the word, but I just looked very pale and like the color from my face I didn't look golden. It pulled like more neutral and maybe a hint pink, not really pink, just more neutral. I don't know, it wasn't warm. For something that is called like warm honey, it's pretty weird, at least to me. As far as oxidizing goes, it didn't really oxidize on me. Like I thought it would maybe get warmer at least, but it didn't. And I waited like a good 10 minutes, like I ate some food and then I went and finished all my makeup. So that's that, but I don't think it looks bad. My texture doesn't look emphasized or anything like that. It actually looks really good. I really love the velvet matte finish. I know it has like all this amazing skincare ingredients, but my skin doesn't feel overly hydrated, but it also doesn't feel dry. Once I put on like some of that powder and like some setting mist to set my whole face, which I also do all the time, it doesn't look bad at all, and you can't even tell that it's clinging onto my dry patches. I'm gonna go on with the rest of my day, and I will check back in at the end of the night and show you how everything looks. It is the end of the day, and I think my foundation looks pretty good, like pretty perfect. It still looks super blurred. Everything is still covered up. It doesn't. We have some breakout situations over here. I'm not sure if it is the foundation that is breaking me out. At first I thought it was, but then I realized it is coming up on that time of the month, and I have been a little stressed lately just from outside of work and stuff. So I think those two factors are the biggest contributor to it. It still has my blush and my highlight still popping, so love that. And I just feel like it makes my skin look overall smooth. It's not super patchy here like it gets with some foundations. That's really my problem area. Nothing super crazy or anything. So far, so good. All right, so it is time to wrap up my final thoughts on the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Foundation. I honestly really like and enjoyed this foundation. I think it's really good. Throughout the whole the time I was wearing it, it just looked so good. It didn't, unlike the Huda Beauty where that really emphasized lines and pores I didn't even know I had, this didn't do any of that. It was really blurring, and it really just makes my face look flawless and airbrushed. Honestly, this is one of the few foundations that I actually really love with a brush and with a beauty blender. Like, I have no preference. Like, the coverage was pretty much the same, so I think it looked good either way, which is super exciting. That's very rare for me. Usually I'm 9 times out of 10, maybe 8 times out of 10 prefer a brush over a beauty blender, but this one I like them both, and that's really surprising. It stays on. It looks good. Like, there's no fading really on my face. Like, there's a little bit here and there, but if that's to be expected. Like, I would remember I would go into the bathroom and just like look at my face throughout the day, and I'd be like, whoa, it still looks like this. Like, it still looks really good, and I was really confused, but I'm very pleasantly surprised. It does get a little oily throughout the day, so my face gets pretty shiny if I'm not on it with blotting and everything, but again, I also have oily skin, so not too big a deal for me, and even after I blot, it looks perfect after that, so totally not a big deal. There were some cons with this foundation though. For one thing, the shade range, I'm not sure is the best in my opinion. Like, only because of the, I don't know if it's, I want to say it's like the undertones. It just doesn't seem like a light honey shade, and I was actually expecting this foundation to oxidize more than it did on my skin. Like, I noticed when it set, and you guys kind of saw it too, when I was applying it, it looked very light on me. I set it with like a colored foundation powder and then put like my bronzer, blush, and highlight, then it looks pretty good and evens out my whole skin tone. But when it's first initially applied, and even the first like 5 minutes, like I was waiting for it to kind of get darker and like match everything, but again, it still just wasn't as warm as I would have liked it to be. I would for sure try it out in store, walk around, go outside and see yourself and your skin in the light. It weirdly got like, not clumpy, but patchy, and it just like really clings onto those dry spots. So I'm not sure if my nose is just super dry, but it's literally just my nose, and I'm like, what's going on? So did it break me out? Nope. So happy it didn't break me out. It doesn't feel super heavy on my skin. Like, it feels really good throughout the day. I love that it just doesn't feel like a need to take it off. Like, I don't have a need to take it off at the end of the day. Like the Huda foundation, I felt like I needed to take it off. Like, it was a lot. I don't know if it is making my skin better, but it also has really good skincare ingredients in there, so I also feel better about wearing this foundation, that it's like kind of helping my skin in a way. In my opinion, it is the perfect everyday foundation. Gonna cover your acne, it's not gonna break you out, and it's gonna look flawless throughout the whole day and not seep into your pores. Those are 3 huge things that I look for in foundations, and this hits all of them, especially for the price. Again, $32. I don't think it's that steep. I just truly didn't think I was gonna like this foundation as much as I do. I thought it was just gonna be like, oh, okay, like I'll try it. I didn't expect to be as blown away by it as I am, which is really cool, and I'm pleasantly surprised. You can't beat it. But that is it for this review, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know down in the comments below if you have tried this foundation. Did you like it? Did you hate it? I would love to know. Also, leave down any requests of any other foundations you would like me to try, or even skincare product and you want me to review it or check it out and see if it's worth the money or just like worth your time. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.